Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video, and we are over on Fjordur, and this is a quick little tip for you just so you can see something super useful. This is how you get a really easy blueprint farm going over on the Ark's newest map. Now, at the chords that I'm at, 25.6, 46.2, you're going to come over here and you can see me right now. Now, all you have to do is get a good fishing rod. Now, the benefit about getting a fishing rod over on this new map is that you can get them all over the frickin' place. If you go to the deep ocean, all you have to do is kill some of the alphas, and yes, people are starting to get some of their powerful water dinos. So killing an alpha mosa or an alpha tuso will drop it's like a very good chance of dropping an ascendant level fishing rod. So in order to get some really crazy loot really easily, all you have to do is come to these chords. Now, what you need to get, leech blood, and you also need to get the fishing pole, because if you use leech blood and catch a saber-toothed salmon, you will get some crazy loot off of it. So how do you do it? Basically, you put the fishing rod in the water with left click, you wait for something to bite said fishing stuff, and you can see it in the water over there. Usually it takes a little bit of time, and when it does take said time, you're basically literally just going to reel them in. That's all you have to do. Now, you can watch them by kind of moving around in the canoe. The canoe is much easier to use than using a chair, and then you're just going to have to get your total number of keys that you have to hit. And I won't talk once I actually get to them, but you can see the saber-tooth salmon are here. They're pretty nice sized. The bigger the saber-tooth salmon, the better loot you're going to get out of it. Now, also, leech blood is going to give you the highest overall effectiveness for loot. And again, you are getting a pretty good odds of getting a really good fishing pole when you kill these alphas, because there's so many on Fjordur. So going down to the deep ocean, if you haven't seen my video on that, you'll see where you can find them all. There's a stupid amount there. So killing those and then coming to a spot like this where you have easy access to saber-tooth salmon, you can get yourself some crazy loot. Now, again, that's kind of like the steps, and you just have to wait for something to bite at that point, and they will kind of swim super quick towards it, and then you just have to hit the buttons. If you've never done it before, it's actually kind of fun. It's kind of relaxing, and you can kind of literally, I've sit and spent multiple afternoons kind of just watching this. But leech blood takes the longest to activate. It's about 60 seconds in the water, and then you get a fish that swims up to it. Saber-tooth, there it is. You can see it right there. So X, X, Q, Q, Z, W, E, X. This is a larger one. And you can see that. Look right there. So basically, with all of that stuff that we just did, right? That was no effort at all. And this is on 1x, literally one time settings, just so you can see. That's a shotgun with 1,000 durability and 184 weapon damage. That is some pretty good freaking Mastercraft BPs right there as well. And then you also get a little bit of, you can see this prime meat in there. You can see this other stuff as well. And you can simply just redo this over and over again. Now, I'm going to keep going for these bigger fish over there. And when you get those bigger fish, they will give you more loot out of it. So you see how I've got this closer to them. So it is based upon the proximity to them. So basically you can see that now I've got almost a guaranteed chance of getting one of these big fish. But every time you have to wait 60 seconds. Now the hardest part of this is getting a fishing pole that will last longer and is at higher effectiveness. And all you have to do is just keep killing those alphas, and that will give you the highest probability of getting a really good fishing pole. Now these fishing poles do last for quite a while once you get a good one, because their durability is kind of changes depending on what level you get. But a good fishing pole, man, can last quite a few casts, and you can get some stupid loot. I have gotten some of the best loot in the entire game that I have ever seen just fishing. Once you get the good fishing pole, man, it's all the world of difference. A regular fishing pole will give you some loot, but you're not going to get the greatest of loot unless you're on an increased server, or you have a way to access those special fishing rods. And it's just, to me, it's bonkers. I think it's a really cool thing that people underuse in this game. And all you have to do is sit and fish. And this is one of my favorite spots, because you can see that's a big salmon right there. So there's an E, Q, X, X, D. Sometimes they throw that in there, and that screws with me a little bit for some reason. All right, so look at that. All right, so we just ruled in a second fish, okay? So we got an 81 armor, Ascendant Dunkleostia saddle, an 80 Procoptodon saddle. What else do we get? Anything good? A Mastercraft Terrorbird saddle. So you get saddles, you get everything. So you can get Rex BP saddles. You can get, I don't think there's anything not in the loot for this. It's all randomized. So getting a good fishing pole is huge. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about it, getting a good fishing pole is also something that is really, really useful, because it will get you some stupid trade for people that know how to use the fishing poles. They will pay a ton for a good fishing pole, especially if you can get like something that's got like 300% weapon damage on it and some good durability, so people know that they can fish with it for quite a while. They know that they'll give you a ton. So that is another huge thing. But again, every time it's a 60-second cooldown timer, so you do have to wait 60 seconds. Sometimes these salmon are not the brightest, and they will kind of launch themselves out of the water. But as long as you can catch the bigger size salmon, you're gonna get some stupid loot. And again, this is 1 times on like official settings, so these are numbers that you'll probably see like even bigger on your servers if you've got loot increased or anything like that. So this is what you can expect to see on official. So just getting some of this is a super useful thing. And I'll do one more fish just so you can see it. And like, this video has lasted less than 10 minutes, and we've already got blueprints that are worth more than anything, because you're guaranteed blueprints out of this strategy. It's not going to give you the actual equipment. You're getting a literal blueprint. So this is how you get a crazy blueprint farm going. And again, every time you get one of these, you can see there's the fish trying to get in there. All right, so this is a big one. So this should give us some decent loot on it, as long as we can actually reel it in. So I've got to like focus here. And you can see we've almost got him. W, E, W, boom. Look at that. Look at all the loot I just got off of that. All right, so that's crazy. So look at this compound bow. That's almost 300% compound bow. Okay, that's an almost capped compound bow with 281 durability. There's a 222. We got some assault rifles off of that. A really good pike off of that, 275%. Yeah, man, it's just bonkers. It really is. I can't think of a better way to say it than people don't utilize the concept of fishing an ark enough, because they get confused on how to do it, and they're like, oh, it's not worth anything. But really, it comes down to the fact, if you have a good enough rod in this game, you're gonna get stupid blueprints. That's just how it works. And again, like I will show you it all. It's super simple. You're watching me do this. This is on official settings. There's nothing boosted. The rod that I'm using is an Ascendant. That's all you need. Even a Journeyman or a decent one will get you some good loot, and that's a really useful technique. So that's something that I would really encourage you to do. So anyways, I will not. If you want to watch this last one, I'll keep it on going, but I'm just going to give you a little closing statements here. If you want to consider liking the video, that would be awesome. Consider leaving a comment, and that would be super awesome. And then if you want to subscribe to the channel, it would help me out a ton, because if only 10% of the people that watched my videos did a subscribe, I would have over, wow, this guy's a jerk, huh? He's just chilling. Thanks, Trudon. But I would have over 1 million subscribers, so it would be awesome if you just click that button for me. That would be super useful. If you'd like to play on my server cluster, you can go ahead and click below, and you'll see a Discord link, and that Discord link will give you access to the server itself, and it's a lot of fun there. Now, another thing that if you want to consider it, down below there's a 5% off G Portal, and here's our last fish here, G, Z, E, X, C, and boom. Boom. Okay, so those guys, again, not as great, but you can see all this crazy loot. Not bad. Super useful. So, anyways, hopefully this is something that helps you out if you've never used it before. Obviously, these canoes are kind of game-changing, so they are pretty freaking useful. And get rid of the Trudons. So hopefully this video helps you out, and other than that, teach.